Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are well. So, after the revision of chapter number 1 and 2, now today we are going to start with our new chapter. The name of our chapter is subtraction. Subtraction concept is not new to you. You are doing it from a longer period of time. So, what we are going to learn today in this chapter is that how to carry out the subtraction of larger numbers, that is 5 and 6 digit number. So let's have a look.
So let's start with the introduction of subtraction. The first question that arises in mind is that what is subtraction? Subtraction literal meaning is removing some objects from a group. For example, if you have 6 candies with you, you take away 3 candies, then 3 candies are left over with you. So we can say that 3 objects are taken away from a group of 6 objects, leaving only 3 objects remaining. So this is known as subtraction. However, subtraction are known by different names such as minus, less, difference, decrease, take away or deduct. So you can call the subtraction by any of the name. Now let's talk about the parts of subtraction equation. Likewise, addition, subtraction also has different parts that are known as minuend, subtrahend and difference. What is minuend? The number that is to be subtracted from is known as minuend. The number that is to be subtracted is known as subtrahend, and the difference is the result of subtracting one number from another. For example, the equation here I have written is 8 minus 3 is equals to 5. So 8 is the minuend, 3 is the subtrahend and 5 is the difference. Now let us understand this with the help of an example. Here I am going to subtract 9854 with that of 5342. So how you have to carry out subtraction? First of all, after arranging the digits in column, you have to subtract the ones period, that is 4 minus 2, and you will get the 2 as an answer. After that, you have to move on to the tens period and have to subtract 4 from 5, and 5 minus 4 is equals to 1. So you will just put down 1 in the answer. After that, moving on further, you have to subtract from the 100 periods, that is 8 and 3. So 8 minus 3 is 5, and note down 5 in the hundreds column. And at last, what you have to do, you have to move on further and have to subtract in the 1000 period, that is 9 minus 5 is equals to 4. So after the subtraction of 9854 and 5342, you get the answer as 4512. So this was the general example I have taken to show you how to carry out the subtraction. However, there are two methods of carrying out the subtraction. The first method is known as subtraction without regrouping, and the another one is known as subtraction with regrouping. So let's talk about them one by one. First is subtraction without regrouping. Now the question arises that when the subtraction without regrouping is done. So the answer to this is that subtraction without regrouping is done when minuend is greater than subtrahend. It means that when the digit written in the minuend is larger as compared to that of the digit written in the subtrahend, you will carry out the subtraction without regrouping. Let us understand this with the help of an example. So here I have to subtract a 5-digit number. So I have to subtract 24,856 from 59,987. So let's talk about them stepwise. The first step is subtract the ones, that is 7 minus 6 is equals to 1, and put down in the ones columns. After that, step 2 is subtract the tens digit, that is 8 minus 5 is equals to 3, and put down 3 in the tens column. After that, step 3 is subtract the hundreds digit, that is 9 minus 8 is equals to 1. So put down 1 in the hundreds column. Next, step number 4 says that subtract the thousands digit, that is 9 minus 4 is equals to 5, and put down 5 in the thousands column. And after that, at last, step number 5 is that you have to subtract the 10,000 digit, that is 5 minus 2 is equals to 3. So put down 3 in the 10,000 column. So after subtracting 24,856 from 59,987, you get the answer as 35,131. So in this, what you have observed? You have observed that here the minuend digits are 59,987, whereas subtrahend digit are 24,856. So minuend is greater than subtrahend. That's why we need not to regroup the digits and we carry out the simpler subtraction. So this is the method of doing subtraction without regrouping. Let us understand this with the help of another example of a larger digit, a 6-digit number. Here I have taken the digits as 7,66,754 and the another digit as 3,54,620. So again here minuend digits are greater than that of subtrahend digit. So we just carry out the subtraction without regrouping. Let us carry out the subtraction. First of all, we have to subtract from the ones period, that is 4 minus 0 is equals to 4. Moving on to tens period, that is 5 minus 2 is equals to 3. Then 100 period, 7 minus 6 is equals to 1. Then 1000 period, 6 minus 4 is equals to 2. Then 10,000 period, that is 6 minus 5 is equals to 1. And at last in the lakhs period, that is 7 minus 3 is equals to 4. So after subtracting 3,54,620 from 7,66,754, we get the answer as 4,12,134. So I think the concept of subtraction without regrouping is clear. It is very easy concept. Only you have to do is a lot of practice. Now the next method of carrying out subtraction is subtraction with regrouping. So subtraction with regrouping is carried out when the digits in the minuends are smaller than that of subtrahend. For this, let us understand the concept with the help of an example given here. Here we have to subtract 17,384 from 25,575. Let's start with the step 1. In step 1, the subtrahend digit is 4, whereas minuend digit is 5. So it can be subtracted without regrouping, that is 5 minus 4 is equals to 1, and have to write in the ones column. But when we move on to the tens column, we found that the digit written in minuend is smaller, that is 7. However, the digits written in subtrahend is greater, that is 8. So we cannot subtract 8 from 7. Now what we have to do? We have to borrow 1 from the hundreds column and change 100 to 10 tens. So now we have 10 plus 7 is equals to 17 tens and 17 minus 8 is equals to 9. So write the 9 in tens column. Now in the next step, the 5 written over here has become 4 since it has given is 1 digit to the nearby tens. So we can subtract 4 minus 3 is equals to 1 and write it in the hundreds column. Now next in the 10,000 column, again 5 is written. 5 is smaller than 7, so we cannot subtract 7 from 5. Now again what we have to do? We have to borrow 1 from the 10,000 column and change 1/10,000 to thousands. We now have 10 plus 5 is equals to 15,000 and 15 minus 7 is equals to 8. So we just put 8 in the thousands column. Now in the step 5, again 2 was written over here, but 2 already has given his 1 digit to the nearby thousand and it has become 1. So now what we have to do? We have to subtract 1 from 1 and we get the 0 as an answer. So what after final subtraction we get the answer as 8,191. So this is known as subtraction with regrouping or subtraction with borrow. So what we have done in these steps, if the number is smaller, we have borrowed one number from its nearby period to carry out our subtraction properly. Let us take another example of a 6-digit number. Here I have to subtract 2,38,505 from the 5,65,400. Now again let's start step by step. The first step is we have to subtract 5 from 0, which is not possible. So 0 will take its 1 from the nearby tens. So after borrowing 1 from the nearby tens, it has become 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. We have just noted down 5 here. Now again in the nearby tens period, 0 was there. 0 has given his 1 to the nearby ones and have become 9. So 9 minus 0 is 9. Again moving on to the next number, there is written 4 and 5. Again 5 cannot be subtracted for 4. So he has borrowed his 1 from the nearby 5 and have become 14. But since it has also given his one number to the nearby tens, we can write it as 13. And 13 minus 5 is 8. Now moving on to the thousand column, again we cannot subtract 8 from 5, and also 5 is given his one number to the nearby 100. It has become 4, and now he has to borrow one digit from 10,000 column. So the digit has become 14. So subtracting 8 from 14, we can write 6 in the 1000 column. Now moving on to the 10,000 column, here 6 has given his one number to the nearby 1000 as has become 5. So we can easily subtract 3 from 5. So we just write 2 in the 10,000 column after subtraction. And last, moving on to the lakhs column, we just simply subtract 2 from 5 and will write 3 as here. So after the subtraction of 2,38,505, we just got the answer as 3,26,895. So this method is known as subtraction from regrouping or subtraction from borrowing. Now what you have to do? You have to do a lot of practice to clarify all your concept. Now here I am giving you some questions. Now you just note down these questions in your rough notebook or in your practice notebook. Try to solve them out so that the concept of grouping and regrouping will be clear to you. Okay?
So students, I think now you are able to do the subtraction of larger numbers, that is 5 and 6 digit number, with regrouping and without regrouping. Now what you have to do at your home? Your home task is to do a lot of practice so that the concept will be clear to you. Okay? So tomorrow we are going to do something new. Till then, keep practicing. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.